Switch 2 Welcome Tour is a $300 game. But Wale, I'm in the eShop right now, and Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour is only $10. Wrong! To fully experience everything in this game, you'll need a $60 Switch 2 camera, a $90 Switch 2 Pro controller, and a 4K TV, which the cheapest one I could find on Amazon was like 150 bucks, bringing your grand total to $300 for a pack-in title. This game is so much worse than you think. So Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour is one of the launch titles that came out with the Switch 2, and there were so many people angry at it when it was first announced. On top of the ridiculous $80 they wanted you to pay for Mario Kart World, they wanted you to pay $10 for a system tech demo. How far we've fallen since the days of Wii Sports. Honestly, there's nothing fundamentally wrong with Welcome Tour. I had a great time playing it. There's a ton of fun minigames that show off the cooler parts of the Nintendo Switch, like HD Rumble and mouse functionality. There's 12 areas to explore, each reflecting some hardware aspect of the Nintendo Switch 2. You have to do these in chronological order, so if you don't like the minigames where you are, too bad. There's 4 different activities you can do in each section, but realistically, there are actually only 2 that meaningfully progress you. The first are stamps, and you get these by exploring different parts of the Nintendo Switch 2 hardware. The stamps are hidden, so you have to pay close attention to specific points of interest on the hardware you're on, like looking out for buttons, connectors, and stuff like that. After collecting all the stamps from an area, you're able to progress to the other parts of the Switch 2. They usually come with some informative blurb about what you're looking at. Honestly, these are so boring to find, and it really sucks that they tied these to progression. Some areas, like the opening area, have 12 of these, so you're gonna have to sit through 12 information blurbs about things you probably know. The second activity is actually kind of fun. You'll be doing mini-games. These usually involve using the Joy-Con mouse function, but also include things like the trigger buttons, HD Rumble, and more. Some of these I found pretty fun, like Balloon Hunt, but unfortunately, a lot of them are very basic and not very fun. The first one you play is literally just moving a mouse cursor around while some spike rocks fall. It's not fun. You'll get medals from beating objectives within these minigames, and these will allow you to unlock other minigames or higher levels within the same game. I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting a little bit more from these minigames too. 1-2 Switch, for all its flaws, was pretty good. That game did a really good job of showcasing all the really creative stuff that you could do with Switch 1. This one is like 90% mouse controls and HD Rumble stuff, which gets old pretty fast. All in all, there's like 20-ish minigames I played, and only about 5 of them were actually worth my time. The other 2 activities you can do are more educational stuff. There's tech demos scattered around the system that are very basic. You've probably already seen the Maracas demo that showcases the Switch 2 HD Rumble. The other demos include just looking at stuff, like comparing screen resolutions and frame rates. These are harder to show off in a video since they sometimes require the Switch to be undocked, but they were fine. They're just not very involved like the mini games. They're just a one and done kind of thing. The last thing you'll be able to do is quizzes, literally just reading walls of text and then taking a quiz right after to test if you learned it. The quizzes need a perfect score to be counted as completed, which can get really annoying when they're asking you questions like when Nintendo introduced wireless communication or something. But overall, these were pretty easy. I eventually stopped doing them because they're so incredibly boring. So basically, the majority of the content in this game is boring tedium. The stamps and quizzes suck, and the demos and minigames are hit or miss, more miss than anything else. On top of that, you don't even have access to some of the content without expensive peripherals, and while you can still 100% the game without these, it just feels scummy on Nintendo's part. So should you buy Switch 2 Welcome Tour? Honestly, I got like 5 good hours out of this game before I wanted to never play it again. That's like $2 an hour of value. Personally, it was overall worth it, especially if you play it with someone that's less knowledgeable about the Switch hardware. It's really fun watching someone use the HD Rumble for the first time and go, whoa! But this isn't about the price. This is about the principle. Nintendo is charging us up the ass for games this generation, and this tech demo is one of those upcharges. Something like this should have been included with the Switch 2 on day 1, and no matter how much I enjoyed it, it's an insult to the user base to have to shell out money for this. The cherry on top had to be the additional accessories that are required to play this game. Do not buy Welcome Tour, especially if you don't have all this extra crap. Save that money and go buy your mama coffee or some shit. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, comment Nintendo is greedy. Please like and subscribe, it really pushes my stuff out to the algorithm and rewards all the hard work I do here. If you want more of me, join the Discord. I'm pretty responsive on there and it's always fun talking to subs and playing games together. My next video will probably be a review of the Nintendo Switch 2, so stay tuned for that. Until next time, peace!